What's up, Snowball Sports fans? My name's Malaina Humphreys, and I am joined by Troy Finnegan, and welcome to Day 2 of the Pac-12's Women Tournament. Tonight, the number 3 seeded Colorado Buffaloes will take on the number 11 seeded Oregon State Beavers. Now, I kind of do want to go through this. We had the opportunity to watch the Beavers versus the USC Trojans last night. Can you take me a little bit through the game, Troy, and tell me what gave OSU the edge over the Trojans?
Yeah, Oregon State was able to pull off the upset over USC last night, and I was really impressed with them on the defensive end, obviously holding USC to just 48 points. And the one thing that I think they did really well was they stayed in front of ball handlers. They stayed in front of USC's guards. When USC got the ball in the high post to Katie Sissoko and Raina Marshall, they were able to keep them out of the paint. USC took a ton of contested jumpers late in the clock, and Oregon State really gave them nothing easy. I think USC had less than 10 or 12 points in the paint for the game, and almost all of those came in transition. And Oregon State really picked up on the boards in the second half. They were a little bit undersized, but they were able to scrap out some offensive rebounds, able to get some extra chances for themselves. On the offensive end, it wasn't a great showing from the Beavers, but they got Pac-12 leading three-point shooter Adley Blacklock, shooting 47% on the year. They got her some open looks on some ATOs, on some out-of-bounds sets. They ran some nice sets for her. They only knocked down 3 threes last night. All of those were by Blacklock, so that will definitely be a key for the Buffs to stay with her. And then in the half court, they played through freshman forward Reagan Beers a ton. I was really impressed with Beers. She can step out, she can shoot the jumper, she can work in the post. She's got nice footwork. She's got a really nice drop step over her right shoulder. So she was doing a lot of the heavy lifting for the Beavers on the offensive end. But yeah, kind of an ugly game last night, but an impressive win for Oregon State to get into the quarterfinals today.
Well, tip-off between the Buffaloes and the Beavers will be 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. What will Colorado need to do defensively to be successful tonight?
Well, the big key is going to be defending Beers. You know, Oregon State only had 2 double-digit scores this year. Beers at just over 13 a game, and guard Talia von Oelhoffen, who is out with an injury for the rest of the season. So Beers is really the beacon of their offense. They're going to play through in the post. They're going to play through in the high post. It'll be interesting to see CU's given. There's a lot of good post players in the Pac-12. CU's given them some different looks. Sometimes they'll let Aaronette Vonleh and Quay Miller go one-on-one. Sometimes they'll send some doubles. Beers did show a pretty good ability to pass when USC sent some doubles. So, she made some nice skip passes, some nice kicks. But I'm not really scared of Oregon State shooting from the perimeter outside of Blacklock. So stay attached to her, help off of the other people. You can scramble, you can recover, cut off the dribble drives, but that's going to be the key. You cannot just let Reagan Beers get going and just start scoring in the post. The other thing, I mentioned the ATOs that they ran for Blacklock. They ran a lot of nice screens, a lot of nice pin downs for her, got her some open looks. USC did a pretty poor job on a couple of those threes that she knocked down, communicating those screens. I don't know what they do, whether you want to switch them or whether you want to go over. But they kind of lost her sometimes, and in such a low-scoring game where those possessions are critical, those threes hurt. So CU's always got to know where 24 is at all times, communicate. And then the other thing that I think CU can really do defensively is pressure their guards. I was really impressed with USC's defense, which they've been doing all year, #1 scoring defense in the Pac-12. Their ball pressure was excellent, and they were able to force some sloppy turnovers from the Oregon State guards. They went into a press in the second half to kind of speed them up. And those are things that Jalen Sherrod and Kendall Wetta do really well. I love their intensity on the perimeter. They like to pick up full court sometimes. They change up their looks a lot, but they're really good with the ball pressure. So I think that those are things that the Buffs can do defensively tonight.
All right, well, let's go to the other end. Let's look offensively. What is Colorado going to need to do to be successful against OSU?
The biggest thing is you've got to be able to move the ball with the pass. USC tried to dribble past everybody. They did not move the ball well, really at all. They settled a lot. But when they got out and ran, they got the ball moving, swinging side to side. They were able to get some drives. They were able to get some good looks in the second half. But if CU wants to just play an ISO game, it's going to be a lot harder to score on the Beavers. The other thing is Quay Miller. She loves that high post jumper. That will be there for her. I don't know if they will play up higher, but last night Sissoko and Marshall for USC got to that shot a lot. They didn't knock very many of them down, which was a key in the game, but that's a shot that Quay Miller really likes. She's been struggling from the field recently, but if they're going to give her that shot, it could be a good opportunity to get her back in a flow going offensively. The other thing is when CU gets a defensive rebound, you got to run. USC slowed the ball down a lot, which I didn't really get because when they got it in transition, they were able to get some open looks, they were able to get some paint touches, get some easy buckets, able to get some open threes. That'll be free to Foreman, running the lane to the wing. She could get some open looks in transition. Jalen Sherrod loves to push the ball after misses, so I think that could be a big advantage for the Buffs. And then USC was big on the offensive boards yesterday. They did a really good job on the glass. I think that Aaronette Vonleh could get some easy buckets there, dominating inside. Quay Miller can get some offensive boards. Tiana Jones is really active on the glass with her length, her athleticism. So I think that could be a good spot for CU to get some extra chances. And then just don't bail them out. USC bailed them out, as you heard me talking about the entire game. USC bailed them out with jumpers all night. Early clock jumpers, late clock, they're just kind of stagnant. Settling for jumpers 15-20 on the shot clock, settling for a lot of 18-foot long twos, hand in their face. Don't be afraid to get late in the clock for the Buffs today. You know, got to work for good shots, but I think that they should be all right today if they, push the ball, get good shots on offense. I think that it's a favorable matchup for CU today.
All right, well, that will close out this edition of our pregame show. Remember, tip-off between the Buffaloes and the Beavers will be at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. And remember to tune in to Twitter and Instagram for live updates. I've been Malaina Humphreys, and I've been joined by Troy Finnegan.